Hi, thank you very much for joining me. This is my new JJRC H31 waterproof quadcopter that I got courtesy of GearBest through a giveaway on rcgroups.com. Arrived neatly packaged in this small compact box, undamaged, and I'm actually very impressed with this box. You know, it's a good, strong, sturdy box. Got a handle on for portability, and it's also got a thin plastic film on it, so you know this is also helps with durability and for weatherproofing. So I'm going to use this box for transport and for storage, because it really is an impressive little box. We also get the instruction manual that comes with it. Now this is a combination of English and Chinese, so it's got a lot of warnings and details and, you know, flight instructions, but nothing about assembling the quad. So I'm going to show you that basically now. There we go. So this is the quad. Now this is a really nice shape and design. I really like it. A very nice vibrant green color, little bit of silver etched inserts in the front and black on the back. So that looks very good. Now for some reason when I first saw this quad, it reminded me of a platypus, which you can see in the bottom left hand corner over here, and I don't know why, because you know this looks more like sci-fi, but I suppose, you know, with a platypus being a mammal that lives on land and in water, and it's got a big flat duck bill as you can see. I don't know, I just thought of a platypus, but anyway, it really is a nice design and shape. There we've also got a nice transmitter. Now this transmitter is made of a strong plastic and has a really good feel to it. Okay, I've put batteries in already, so if you open up the back, there's 4 AA batteries. You need to supply yourself and insert, and with this left lever, got a nice spring on it, straight up and down forward there, and then the right lever spring loaded and back to the center, which is good. We turn it on and we have a look. It's got a nice little digital display. Okay. Now on the top left here, this is your speed button for 3 variable speeds. It's not showing now, but I'll show you later when the quad is connected, and then you can see. So you've got 50%, 75%, 100%. Flip button there. These buttons here don't really do anything, just for show. Your trim buttons, these 3 here, and then for the camera version, this take a photo you press up, take a video you press down. Then we also have a bag that has the prop guards and the landing skids. Now, well, a pair of sunglasses. I'm not really sure why. They look quite nice. Maybe to keep the water out of your eyes. And always good to have spare props, a small screwdriver and a bag of screws. And then also here we've got the USB stick, which is the battery charger, so that's interesting. You just plug it into USB and charge your battery from there. So I'm going to make a few adjustments and be back with you shortly. Back again. So I've made a few adjustments, but let's just have a closer look at the quad itself. Now I'm pleased I got the green. It also comes in a white version, but I think the green is very nice. Now an important thing for me is durability. And if we have a look at this, you know, it's quite flexible. So, you know, this is going to help minimize damage. So as well as a good design, it really is good. The waterproofing is obviously a big aspect, but if we look at the top shell, it's actually quite a soft plastic. It's quite mandible, okay, which is good. And then if we look underneath, the bottom shell is actually a lot harder, okay, but this is important for rigidity and stability, okay. We look at the props. Now the props aren't rigid, they're very flexible, they bend, so if this hits against something, you know, it's going to absorb the impact, it's not going to crash, you know, it's not going to really hurt anybody either. So to me that's also a very good thing and a feature of the quad. We have our big LED light in the front that should assist with orientation. Okay. Then if we look underneath, okay, now I've left this open, so basically let me just show you quickly first. The prop guards actually come with a cover that actually fits onto the bottom of the motor. Now this is quite unique, and in actual fact I think it's very good, because this helps prevent, if you're landing on grass or in dirt and everything, it helps prevent dirt and sticks and everything getting in and interrupting the gears and possibly jamming the gears. So this is very good, and for another reason which I'll tell you shortly as well. So the prop guards come like this with this cover, but I've just used a pair of side cutters and just cut the prop guards off. Now, you know, because these props are quite flexible, I don't think it's really necessary to fly with the prop guards on, because for packing, if I'm going to use the box for transport and for packing, the prop guards are really just going to get in the way. Let me just also have a look in here. Then if I have a closer look at the assembly over here, now I've removed a single screw that actually holds the propeller in place there. And if we look closely in here, you can see, okay, that no water can't get into this area at all except through the top, okay. And then if it does get in through these slots at the top here, it's completely plastic at the bottom, so it can't drain out there, which is possibly not a good thing. So the water, it would need to be tipped over to get rid of the water completely, but it can't enter the arms here at all. So yeah, I mean, it's housed in plastic, and that helps the waterproofing and the durability. So now, as I was saying, you know, I was going to tell you another good reason for having these covers on is that if we have a closer look here at the quad, if you can see in the front here, it has 2 air vents, and it also has 2 air vents over here. Okay, so that can also allow water to get into the quad, but by having the covers on, it actually raises the level quite a bit. So this will also help and keep these vents above the water and help prevent water getting into the quad if you do land in water. So I really recommend that you put these covers on, both for protecting against dirt and that, and also for better flotation should you end up in water. Okay, so I'm just going to put this prop back on quickly. So waterproofing is a good thing, but to be honest, you know, this isn't a boat and it's not a submarine. So I think, you know, the waterproofing is more for confidence that you can fly in the rain, and also, you know, if you do land in water, you know, you can still retrieve it and it's going to be still working. So it's a really good feature of a quad to have the waterproofing, but yeah, it's not something you go dunking in. Also, if we look closely underneath, we've got the LEDs front and back. We'll switch it on and have a look, and that, I think I might even get a night flight in as well, and we can see how well the LEDs work at night. Now, one thing I really like about a quad that has a battery bay is an on-off switch, and as you can see, if I switch it on, the LEDs come on. So 2 green ones at the back, orangey sort of red in the front, and like that. Now this little port here is for a camera, so you also get a camera version of this quad, and the little mounts here are off to add the camera on. Now currently, as far as spares and availability goes, you can virtually get body parts, you can get motors, you can get props and that, but you can't get a camera from what I can see just yet. So although this isn't the camera version, you have the option to put a camera on at a later stage. Then the battery bay here has got a really nice little strong clip, and this hatch comes up here like that, and then the battery is inserted here. Get it out. Okay, so there's quite a bit of space. You know, might be able to squeeze in a slightly bigger battery, but you know, this is a 3.7 volt 400 mAh battery, 30C, and this should give about 8 to 10 minutes of flying time, you know, which is pretty good if you consider the size of this craft and the weight. You know, 10 minutes, you know, I'm fairly satisfied with 10 minutes of flying time. But if I wanted to put a bigger battery on, I'm sure I could just secure a bigger one on the bottom here, you know, just leave this out here and then plug a bigger battery into there. Now I'm not sure how much additional weight this can carry, but that's also a possibility and something I may have a look at in the future if I need or feel that I want to get a longer flying time, or I have a problem with, you know, the smaller batteries or that. So that's nice. Now whenever I get a battery, I also test and make sure and see whether it comes at, whether it's good at storage capacity or at full capacity. Now this one I've received at 91%, so it's not storage capacity, so you know there's quite a lot in here to use to go flying. But yeah, it's always good to charge it up to 100% for your first flights, so that you've got more time. Okay. Now, another very good thing as well. Sorry, let me just put this battery back in here, so it slides in there quite comfortable. This blade connection then just fits onto there. And then you want to get the wires in as close to the battery and away from the little hatch here, so that it can lock in and secure. So there we go, that's in there. Now the landing skids, you get 2 landing skids with it. Okay, so there's 2 holes on either side, front and back. These actually plug into here. Okay, so I'll plug those in there. Now one thing I really like about this, although it's got holes and you get screws where you can actually screw it on permanently, is that these skids actually fit on here quite strongly and securely, so I don't think it's really necessary to screw them in if you don't have to or don't want to. But anyway, there's holes on all 4 of these to screw it in. But because I'm going to be transporting it in the box, this is a big plus for me, because I can remove the landing gear, I can store it and then take it out in the field and very quickly, you know, put the landing gear on, and I'm quite confident that, you know, it's going to stay on. We'll see when I fly it whether they drop off and that, but that's it. So yes, I've got that. Now we also have the battery charger. Okay, so this is a USB stick, and the blade connection of the battery plugs into the back here. You plug this into your computer, a red light comes on while it's charging, and when it's finished charging the red light goes off. Very generous to have 4 propellers, but you know, this is quite durable. I don't think these propellers are going to get damaged easily. Generous and good to have 4 spare propellers. Okay, then you get the free pair of sunglasses that I showed you earlier. So quite nice style design, little JJRC logo on there with a sticker. So let's get back to the transmitter here. So if I turn the transmitter on and I turn the quad on, get these glasses out of the way. Now when you turn the quad on, it's always good to make sure that you put it down on a level surface and just let it settle down. So this will help you, enable you to sync the gyros. Okay, so first of all we have a closer look at the transmitter. Now when we press the variable speed button here, you can see 75%, 100% and 50%. So to sync the gyros, it's good to put it on 100%. You need to bind with the quad first. So you press the throttle lever up and back down, and then we'll test there. So that's now bound. So with it on 100%, we move both these levers down and to the bottom right hand corner at a 45-degree angle to sync the gyros. So this helps with the stability and performance and balance of the craft. So let me just show you that again. Switch off. Okay. Now you can see the front indicator light of the quad is blinking when it's not bound to the transmitter. So switch the transmitter on. The light goes solid. Okay. Then we need to bind down, and then it's ready to fly. Then to synchronize the gyros, press the speed button, go to 100%, pull down, bottom right hand corner, the front light flashes and then goes solid, saying it's synchronized, and then ready to go. Also, we want to have a look and see what happens if the quadcopter goes out of range. Now the range for this quadcopter should be around 80 meters. Also something I might test if I do range tests at a later stage, but 80 meters is quite a reasonable distance. But if it goes out of range or you lose control with the transmitter, let's see what happens. So switch off the transmitter. Okay, so if it goes out of range of the transmitter, it's going to power down and drop wherever it is. Now also, if we go into the area and we can't find it, can we switch the transmitter on again and then bind it? Yes, we can. So this is a good thing. So you know, if you can't see it, you can rebind with it. So don't forget to put the lever up, down, and then listen for the sounds of the motors, especially if it's caught up in a tree and you can't see it. The leaves will soon start rustling. Okay, so let's see how it flies. Now that's quite stable, quite impressive. I'm really impressed with how stable this is. Okay, let's take it to meet its family. Whoops, okay, that didn't happen. My mistake. Anyway, yeah, it is. It wants to be with its family. This is my JJRC family. My little H6C. H8D, and my big tarantula H16. So welcome to the family. Put the glasses on the big bro. So now, yes, I'm going to take it out into the field to test, and like I said earlier, try and get a night flight in, and we may even just test the waterproofing, although I'm quite confident it's pretty okay. And that, so look forward to seeing you in the field. Stay tuned. Okay, another day in the park. My new JJRC H31 waterproof quadcopter. The wind's about 7 miles per hour, so I expect it to get pushed around a little bit. Let's get ready, switch it on, make sure the quadcopter's on, bind. No, quadcopter's not on. There you go. On, bind, yes. Put the rate up to 100%. Synchronize the gyros, yes. Ready to go. Okay, so nice and steady. And pushed it back a little bit by the wind. Really handling well in the wind. Do a backflip. Yeah, very good, very tight. Flying very nicely despite the wind. Very stable. Nice. Roll this time. You're back. Yeah. So it flies very nicely, very stable, even in windy conditions. Very impressive. Okay, so now let's see what the H31 does in the dark. Switch the transmitter on. Switch the quad on. There we go. Okay, so lights look pretty good. Let's bind. Okay, synchronize the gyros. Okay, that's done. Let's take off. Okay, so quite bright, quite light. You can see the back green lights and the front orangey red lights. Wow, it looks quite nice. You can see the front lights here. Quite impressive, nice and stable, quite bright and light. You can still see it at quite a distance. Flying nicely. Looks quite impressive at night. See its orientation quite easily. Bring it back here. Okay, so it looks great at night. Good to keep orientation and bright. So yeah, quite impressive at night too. And finally, let's see what happens if we land in water. Ready? Oh dear. There we go. Oh, hang on. The motors aren't turning while it's in the water. Got a light blinking here. Quite a lot of water dropping out here. Mind you, not too much. Shake it off. Try and get all this water out. Shake. Try that again. Well, still working. That's a good thing. Oopsie, shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's try again, see what happens. Yes, if it has a bit of a dunk, I can't really recover it off the surface. It does start sinking, which is not such a good thing. Let's dry it out and most importantly, and see if it works. Still working, so let's try again. Yeah. Now when it lands in the water, loses contact and sinks a little bit too rapidly. They're not fine when I take it out. Let me just put it in the water gently, see what it does. Yeah, no, not responding. Lift it out. Still works. Okay, let me remove the landing gear and see if it makes any difference. Katie, come. Come on, come here. Come, puppy. Okay, no, I'm losing throttle and control when it lands in the water. Okay, still works, but to be honest, I don't recommend dunking it in water, but it's a good thing to know that if it does submerge in water and it actually sinks, that you could shake it out, let it dry out a little bit, and then it starts up well again. So one final little thing here, put it down there. See, then it's okay. But if it goes a little bit too deep, it does lose contact and does let water in. So we know that it's not letting in through the feet. It'll be entering into these vents, and also possibly do the battery bay here. So if you really want to go dunking it, I'd suggest you cover these vents, and you also maybe put some petroleum jelly or something like that in here if you do want to use it as a boat. Still working, happy after having a few dunks. So not entirely waterproof, and don't really recommend deliberately going and using it as a boat, but still a nice little durable quad, and having it, the satisfaction of knowing that it's still working after it lands in water is good. So thank you for joining me. Cheerio.